You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise.
What's up, brownies? Hurry up and get on in here because we getting ready to jump right into the video because this is episode 2 in my Unserious news series. And child, y'all is real unserious down to the church house. Do you know it's got so desperate out here that the women is shooting they shot at the men at the church house in front of everybody, girl. The thirst is real. No, actually, I am just kidding. It is nothing wrong with what these people are doing. They out here trying to find love and everybody needs and deserves it. Amen. So let me give you a little background on where this is going on. This is Union Church, is in the DMV, and they do have several campuses in several different states. So y'all might want to look that up and join, okay? But for this campus, it is pastored by Stephen Chandler and his wife, Zai. Now, we're going to have to pause for the calls, and we're going to have to give flowers where they are due. These two are the chocolate churchy version of Ken and Barbie, and they actually out here leading the church. But their heart for God, all jokes aside, their gift, they are, so down to earth and relatable. And I think that is why this church is growing in leaps and bounds. And also they're innovative because they're trying a new thing, which is singles night. Now, before I tell you what it is, child, let me tell you what it ain't. This ain't Freaknik down to the church. No, ma'am. And no, sir. This is not a speed dating thing. All it is the singles of the church getting an opportunity to ask the pastors for advice and tell them what's going on in their single life to help them get partnered, okay? So I think that this is a great idea. Everybody deserves love. And these young people out here are forward thinking. They're putting themselves out there. And to be honest, ain't no shame and no shade in this. I was just joking in the beginning. But now let's talk about the host. The host is Anthony O'Neill. If you don't know, he is definitely a public figure. He has a large social media following. He's a public speaker. He's a content creator, and his YouTube channel is very popular. Most of his content is based around wealth building, debt elimination, and financial literacy. Long story short, he's the money guy. So he's hosting. He is single as in unmarried. We don't know whether he has a woman or not, and here's why. This is the next key factor. He's notoriously private about his personal life. He just does not believe in putting it out there unless it's like really official and they're getting ready to head down the aisle. And to be honest, with as messy as the blogs are nowadays, I really can't blame him. So keep all of these things in mind as we get into our first clip of this adorable, driven, successful young lady trying to shoot her shot.
Hi, I'm Savannah. All right, first of all,
Hey, Savannah, where you from? Let him hold the mic.
Oh.
Yeah, you getting a little. She's like, yeah.
First of all, Anthony, I love your book, Debt-Free Degree. I also have a debt-free degree. I'm saving to pay up for physician assistant school in cash, and I have an 800 credit score. So you want to call?
You better shoot your shot. Yeah!
You want to bring up a state?
I love that AO was still a gentleman about it, but I was waiting on Pastor Stephen to look at Anthony and see that he was not on the same page, at least not in front of everybody. So I got a little secondhand embarrassment for her.
We offered them a good gift card, but it sounds like they didn't take it. So we've got a date night gift card available.
What are my chances?
Not good.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
More like 1 out of 1,000,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Wow. You can turn red.
Wow.
My actual question is, I'm really glad you're here. I take finances very seriously. So let's say someone isn't. When is that going to be a breaking point? Because I'm not going to marry you if we're not going to handle our finances. No.
Some of us love money more than we love sex. And we're picking money over sex.
Oh.
And that sounds like a really bad pick to me. When do I cut it off? When this person is exhibiting money management habits that is going to tank our future family.
Destructive.
We're going to get foreclosed on. We're going to be destitute. Does that make sense? But some people are like, oh, they have debt. I'm not dating them. You're going to be single till you die. Or, you know what I mean? But they don't live on a budget right now. They can learn.
Are you telling this brave soul that if he got $200,000 in debt, $500,000 in debt,
yeah,
cars, credit cards,
all that,
all of that, but as long as he loved Jesus,
no, that's not what I said. As long as you love Jesus and got a plan of how he's gonna pay it off. I know people that graduate college, doctor, put it all on student loans and got legitimately $400,000 of debt.
For real.
But got a plan. Here's how we're gonna knock it out. And you'd be a fool to pass on that.
All right, so Miss Savannah, let's always start out with the positive. Hats off to you, sis. Whether you got this man or another one, any man that has you in his life, you're truly going to be an asset to that man. So let's talk about approach. She did her research. She knew what this man's platform was about, what books he had written, and all of that. She knew what he valued, right, as far as what he did for a living and what he wanted for his future. What she did not research was the fact that you cannot Google the name of not one of his girlfriends or ex-girlfriends or whatever. He just does not have that information out there. So perhaps shooting your shot in front of a live viewing audience while this is being filmed was not the way that he would want things done. And maybe also, like many men, they prefer to be the pursuer or the hunter, so to speak, and not so much by you pursuing him. That may have come off as a bit masculine to him. Then, you couple that with your hand motions, your mannerisms, and your way of speaking. That may have been a turn off to him as well. But I do want to point out a couple of things. Pastor's advice starting off with being about sex to her, that was kind of bizarre. This is a single woman that you're talking to and a single man that she was shooting her shot at. Single as in not married. If you meant once you get married, you could have saved all of that because these people can't even get to that point. But also, you're going to have to put up with all of that in the dating phase as far as the hit to the finances trying to pay off a large debt. And there's no guarantee that his plan is going to work even if he does have a plan. Women always have to sacrifice and compromise, and then watch this. Even if it does work, what is the guarantee that after you've suffered through it in the single phase that he's actually going to marry you and stay married to you? But also, I want you to pay attention, especially if you go back and watch the whole video. We will ask women to compromise on what they want as far as looks. He asked one woman earlier to compromise on her height requirements. And now this one has to compromise on her standards as far as finances, right? So height and money are the things that women always are being asked to compromise on, right? But you're going to see later on in this second clip that when he's talking to a man, he didn't ask him to do no compromising because money and provision is for women as looks and sex are for men. You'll never hear a man advise another man to, she can be 300 pounds as long as she has a plan for how she's going to lose the weight. She might not be good at having sex or might not want to have sex all the time, but give her time to learn and grow and her appetite to increase. But don't cheat on her in the meantime. When have you ever heard a man give another man that advice? Right. Which is why, while all of y'all chasing behind these men trying to get married, my next series is going to be Why Didn't I Get Married? And y'all know that there is plenty of evidence and plenty of cautionary tales to use as a reason why a lot of women are happily and voluntarily single rather than partnering with a man that is both a cheater and a liar. So the best solution would be for y'all to stop letting people force this marriage idea down your throat as if it ain't a lot of misery that comes along with much of it. But to get more info on what I'm talking about, let's go on to the second clip. Now, wait a minute. In this first part, I let the women make it and granted them some grace. But in part two, I'm going to have to let the men make it and grant them some grace.
My question is, do you get to make your choice of your lover or your partner? Do you get to make that selfishly or unselfish? And I can give you an example. Are you being selfish? I want what I want, and whatever my kids get is just what they get. Or am I picking what I want for my kids, and what I get, I will pray for to be able to move forward?
Great question. Dating season is the time to be the most selfish in your life in what you're looking for. You are just picking, do I want to spend the rest of my life with you or not? And if you don't, there is nothing wrong with that. Now, you do want to think, do I want my daughter to end up like this woman? Do I want my son to marry somebody like this woman? They are going to raise your kids. So just keep that in mind. But it is be selfish as you want to be in terms of what you're looking for.
I like that, man. I like that. He shouldn't be single leaving here.
He shouldn't be single leaving here.
Yeah, so.
He shouldn't be.
Oh, hold up.
He should be.
Hold up. Hey, come on.
And with that, I think he won't be.
Not to be petty, but look at the other differences. Savannah was on point. She had her stuff together, but they said that he shouldn't be single going home. They didn't say that for Savannah, though.
He said they're taking a gift card. They're going to go out. They're going to go out. They're going to go out.
You want to go out and date with him?
Absolutely.
Ask your question.
You're dating?
You got to get her number. Hey, go get her number right now.
Yo, phone out though! Phone out though!
Here's what I'm going to do. Since y'all did that, what's the cash app?
Oh, this is so cute. I love how supportive and fun and funny everything is here. This is lit. But I just want to say, look at the support that they're giving a so-called short king who's trying to get with a girl who looked like she could be Coco Jones' little sister. Amen? But if you watch the whole video, a lot of women in his same level of attractiveness got up there. They didn't get none of this encouragement and none of this hype. Furthermore, they call them short kings now. But what's the cutesy name for an overweight or unattractive, ugly woman?
I'ma sow my seed into this, because if y'all get married, I want my seed to come back to me. Hey, I just gave you $250. Take her somewhere nice. Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
By the way, that's my cousin. Don't break her heart. I'll kill you.
You can send that money back now.
So let's look at the difference in approach and the reason why they got different results. In that first clip, it's up for debate, whether or not Anthony just really curved her. He maybe just waited until the cameras were off and there weren't a lot of people around anymore, and then just exchanged phone numbers, and then he took the lead from there. Right? We don't know. But in this one, we knew that it went all the way right and both people got what they wanted. And why is this? It's because she took a different approach. And just to be fair, you can tell from the editing that a lot of this was edited out. I'm sure it went on for hours and hours. And there probably were some spots where they were more encouraging and hyping women up. But they maybe wanted that edited out for privacy because women are judged differently than men. And I think that that encouragement is something that's really needed if you think about it from a man's perspective and talk about some of the struggles that they have when trying to date. First and foremost, traditionally, men are expected to initiate. So that is an exorbitant amount of shooting your shot, which leads to rejection. And that after a while is going to chip away at your confidence and your self-esteem. So doesn't it help you out a lot if somebody just gives you a very clear green light? So in this instance, I still think that it was pretty much done traditionally. The man put himself out there saying that he was open, available, and looking. The woman gave him a very clear green light. And as you can see, baby, he took off speeding. So he was still pursuing her. She just gave him a little help. And I think that that's much needed today. I also don't see that there's anything wrong with doing this in church because y'all do it everywhere else. Because when you look at it being done in other areas on the internet and everywhere else, there's still some toxicity to it. So you can't win either way. If you all have been watching these clips from like that pop the balloon thing to where you pop your balloon when you're disinterested in somebody, do you know the top 2 reasons why women find themselves disinterested in men without knowing anything about the content of their character? Their height and their job. Height and income. First and foremost, If you watch all of the videos, you will see that the guy who was the absolute shortest in there, he was the sweetest, he was the most open-minded, he didn't turn anybody down. He didn't pop his balloon for anyone. He left all his options open, and every single one of the women did not pick him due to his height. Facts. He was a good man, Savannah, and y'all still couldn't let him make it due to height, right? So if it's not height, the secondary reason is going to be for your income. So the dude can be tall, but if he work at Whack Arnold's or something like that, y'all gonna think that he broke. He come up to you all respectful, and this is what y'all hit him with.
Afternoon, ladies.
Ew, nigga, you smell like french fries.
Oh my God, why is that still so funny? But listen, I understand the income part to a certain extent because bills are real and my content is real good. So go ahead and support your girl financially as well. We could super chat on YouTube, we could Cash App, or you can go directly to my website and hit that support tab. But to wrap this portion up about the height thing, I guess I don't understand it because I'm only 5'3" on a good day. But if I had to put height on there, I guess my requirement would just be don't be shorter than me, which, I mean, if you are, you probably got a little touch of dwarfism in your family. And even if you do, God bless you. But that doesn't make you a terrible man. Some of the dumb excuses that I've heard is people wanting their sons to be athletes. What requires height that much? Is it basketball? I mean, I would rather my child be an academic than an athlete, and I'm a nerd. So if you got my DNA, you're going to be smart. So that takes care of that. I've also heard weird stuff like, I want my man to be tall enough to reach the cereal on top of the refrigerator. As somebody who grew up in the suburbs and is now a homeowner in a gated community in the suburbs, the refrigerators is recessed into the wall and you don't put anything up there. We have these really weird things. It's kind of like a walk-in closet for your food, though. We call it a pantry. So that's where the food goes. Once again, I think a lot of y'all girls are hood girls. I think that maybe y'all work at Whack Arnold's and that's why y'all can't afford to live somewhere nice, because where are you living that people are just jumping out the bushes trying to attack you? That sounds real hood, real ghetto, sis. But once again, if he got hands, he don't need height. And if he got a firearm, he don't need none of that, because unless your attacker is made of vibranium, a bullet will get it. But for some of y'all, even if he was a good dude, even if he looked nice, ooh, he looking good and he talking right, even that wouldn't be enough for y'all to get somewhere and sit down with this man. And you know what's the truth? That man could be the Prince of Zamunda, and y'all still find something wrong with it. It would take one of the aunties to tell y'all, go on, honey, take a chance. But P game is, even if you think about it, even in this situation, he was still a liar and he was worried about a woman being a gold digger. But that still don't let y'all whip it off the hook. Y'all know that y'all shallow just like the men are, and y'all have silly stuff on y'all list. Y'all know I ain't lying on y'all. There could be a good man, Savannah, and half y'all women still hitting him with the Rihanna. As soon as he walk up, please, just cut it out. Why she said it like that? Why was she so mad? She sounded disgusted. I know y'all wish that y'all could stay here forever and laugh with me and listen to me sing off key, but guess what? Now it's time to go. Curtains finally closing. I know that was quite a show, honey. Very entertaining. But guess what? But it's over now. But y'all stay tuned, because, honey, we're going to have to get into this Risa and Legion story. But when we get into it, we're going to do it the Pretty Brown Rise way, honey. Y'all know the motto, balance equals righteousness. Anything that lacks balance will inevitably lead to chaos. And wasn't they situation chaotic, honey? Yeah, so we're going to get into it with a balanced perspective where there is both blame and grace that needs to be placed on both sides. I hope you all subscribe, hit the all notifications bell, and stay tuned. So you can wake up and rise.